Hey everyone, it's Sandra and welcome to today's video. We're going to get ready together. I'm getting ready to go to an event. It's evening time. I'm gonna amp up the eyes a little bit. So if you wanna see how I achieve this look, if you wanna hang out with me and do some makeup, just keep watching. So all up close and personal with you. I'm going to start with a couple drops of this REN Perfect Canvas. This is a makeup primer without any silicone in it. And it almost feels like a very sticky, hydrating serum. And it just leaves the skin really, really soft. I find that it provides a nice base underneath makeup, especially this time of year, where I'm not really concerned with oil control that much, but I do want a little bit more moisture. I want to keep the dry patches at bay. And it tends to make makeup really cakey, especially around the mouth area. That's my trouble area. That's where I get a lot of dry patches. So something like this tends to help keep them at bay. I'm not sure if you follow the makeup artist Katie Jane Hughes on Instagram. She is like the queen of glowy skin. She has the most beautiful makeup skills and skin. And a tip that I picked up from her that I've been putting into practice over the last year is actually taking a really glowy, either a heavier moisturizer or a glowy primer, anything that's got a little bit more shine to it, and just put that, focus it on the high points of your face and use that underneath your foundation to kind of help those areas look more glowy once you get your foundation on. So that's what I like to use this product for. You have probably seen this in action in my wedding day makeup tutorial that I did, because I did use this when I did my makeup and I love it. It's the Armani Prima Nourishing Glow Enhancer Oil in Gel. I only need a tiny little bit of it because I don't use this all over my face. I think if you're somebody with more dry skin, you can totally get away with using this all over your face if you really want that beautiful glowy look. It smells really, really nice too. So I just work it into the tops of my cheekbones, maybe a little bit of my cupid's bow, but definitely staying away from my T-zone. It just like encourages the glow to focus on those areas. For foundation, I'm going to do something a little bit fuller coverage since it is more of like an evening event makeup look. So I'm going to do the Tom Ford Traceless foundation stick. This is my favorite winter foundation if I want like a medium to full coverage. I cannot wear this in the spring and summer when my skin is more oily, but I love to wear this time of year. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I use this in the shade number 5. I like to brush the stick with a brush. This is a Zoeva, what is this? 102 brush. And I'm just stippling it in with the brush first. With this method, I can be more in control of the coverage. In the winter, I'm like full on Rudolph, so I can't, I feel like I need to put foundation on my nose to tone the redness a little bit. So once I've kind of buffed the coverage on my skin, I like to take a damp sponge. This is the Real Techniques Complexion sponge, and I like to go over it, and this really gives me the most natural finish possible. For any bits of hyperpigmentation still showing through, I'm using the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer and a Sephora number 57 brush. Got a blemish on the side of my lip this week. It's like on its way out right now, but it was so painful. It's the worst spot to get a blemish because you can't do anything about it. You can't squeeze it because the area is so awkward. You just have to ride it out. But it was so painful. I'm glad it's on its way out. Do you find it relaxing to watch somebody else do their makeup? Because I do. It's like therapy to me. Like, it's so relaxing. Even doing my own makeup, or when I put a video on, or if somebody's doing like an Instagram live doing their makeup, I love just looking at it. There's just something so lovely about the ritual of getting ready. I just find it so, it just brings a lot of joy to me. I'm gonna do my under eye concealer now. So this is the Sisley number 2 concealer. I use this as a corrector because shade number 2 has a very strong peachy undertone. So I like to use this and just focusing it on the areas where I have the most discoloration. It's 30% off in the Net-a-Porter sale right now. So if you've ever wanted to try this, get it from Net-a-Porter because you can get it for 30% off. I think the other way you can get it for less is if you get it at duty free. Then I'm going to take this L'Oreal concealer. This is the True Match concealer. I'm the shade W12. And I'm just using this to add a bit of brightness under my eyes. I'm gonna go in and set my under eyes. This will help eliminate any of that fallout that we might get. I'm putting a little bit more than I normally would, like more than I do on an everyday basis. And I'm just kind of letting it sit there so that if I do get any fallout, I can just easily brush that off. This brush is the best brush for under eye powdering. It deposits the perfect amount of product. It's the Wayne Goss airbrush. So for eyeshadow, we're doing Mother Pat's Mothership palette. This is the Pat McGrath Mothership 5 palette. Definitely do not regret purchasing this year. I'm going to add a little bit of Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. So to set my shadow primer, I'm going to use this. This is by Surat, and it's the color Bien Cuit. It's just a very barely there color, but it really helps with blending, especially if you have deeper set eyes like me and you kind of struggle with having a nice even blend. It's not exactly skin colored either, it's just so lovely. And I'm gonna go in with this crease color here. I don't know the names of the colors and they're not on the packaging directly. This is like the crease color in the palette, and I like to use this. It just all blends in so beautifully, and it's so easy to get it to sheer out or build up. If I want to use this palette and if I want to just get ready for work, I can just use this eyeshadow by itself and I'm good to go. So I'm just using this in my crease, working this into the crease. I'm trying to make sure that my eyes are even. Then we're gonna go into this beautiful champagne color here. Again, very daytime appropriate as well. I think when you first look at this palette, it can be really intimidating, and I've also noticed that a lot of the tutorials online are on very bold, beautiful, bold, creative, intense looks. Obviously, when you're looking at this, everyone's automatically drawn to these super intense, metallic, glittery shades, and they are obviously super fun, super unique. It kind of encourages you to step outside the box and try something new, which I really appreciate. But if you want to do something more subdued, you can also achieve that look with this palette, which is why I was so drawn to it. This color is also a gorgeous brow highlight, and it's a really pretty inner corner highlight as well. I'm gonna go back to it. Another beautiful subdued color that I love in this palette is this one here. It does have some glitter in it, but it's a very beautiful, neutral, shimmery color. Sometimes I like to layer it on top, either with fingers or a brush. If I use fingers, it brings out the glitter more. You can blend out that glitter, and again, it can be a very daytime appropriate eyeshadow look. You know what? If you're spending this kind of money on a palette, you want to be able to wear it to work if you want to. You want to be able to wear it for all occasions. I'm going to grab this color here, which is this beautiful, intense, glittery gold. I'm taking it on another finger and I'm going to tap it onto my eyelid. This does have a little bit of fallout, but we did the powder thing under the eyes, so we're going to take care of that in a minute. Sometimes I like to work off of the side of my hand. Take care of any excess with the crease brush that I use, but I'm not taking any extra color. I'm just kind of using it to diffuse the shimmer. My fingers look like a party right now. And now I'm going to take this deeper brown here on a more dense, fluffy brush, and I'm adding a little definition into the outer corner. I'm mainly using this to deposit the color, not really worrying about the blending situation that much. This is a Laura Mercier crease brush. I don't think they make this anymore. I feel like Laura Mercier has had a rebrand in the last year. They changed their font. They're trying to be more millennial friendly. I don't know what they're trying to do, but. Okay, now I'm just taking the Sephora crease brush and I'm just blending in that dark color. In retrospect, I should have done this before I put on the glitter, but you know what? We're regular people getting ready here. I do appreciate how easy these colors are to blend. You don't really need to put in a lot of effort. So even if you mess up, you can usually blend it out. I like this. This is like a caramel chocolate vibes that I'm getting from this, dessert vibes from this eye look. I think now I'm just gonna go back in to that lighter brown color, and I'm just using that to smoke out my lower lash line a little bit. And then I'm taking a little detail brush, going back in with that lighter champagne color, and I'm using this in my inner corner. This is a Hakuhodo brush, and it does not have a number on it. This color is so beautiful. It just layers on top of stuff, under stuff. It's the most gorgeous, underrated color in this palette. It's like, oh, a boring champagne, but then you put it on and you kind of notice the nuances of it and how beautiful the texture is. And I do have a tiny little bit of fallout, not as much as I thought I would. I'm gonna just brush it off. And this will also brush off any excess powder. And a look never really comes together without liner and mascara. So I'm just using this brown liner. This is a Marc Jacobs eyeliner in the color Earthquake. I'm also using this in my waterline. I'm going to use it a tiny little bit above as well, but nothing too crazy. I don't want a graphic liner. I'm just using this to add a bit more contrast to my lash line. And then I'm going to go in with the Colossal Big Shot Mascara from Maybelline. I've recently gone back to this. This is one of my favorite drugstore mascaras. If you're into thick, voluminous lashes, I prefer this to the Lash Sensational, actually. And I poke myself in the eye with the mascara wand, but have somehow managed to not get it all over to my face. Hallelujah. Oh, it really hurt. I'm gonna get my composure, do my brows, and I'll be right back. All right, so my brows are on. If anybody cares, I used the ColourPop brow gel, the tinted brow gel, and I used a Burberry eyeshadow. So now that the foundation has had the chance to set and meddle with my natural oils, before I powder, I like to just take my sponge and just go over. So I'm just taking this little Cosette brush. And the Pur Minerals powder. And now for my favorite part, time to add some dimension and some life to my cheeks. I'm using this bronzer from Beauty Counter, and it's in the color Dune. I had no idea that Beauty Counter were a multi-level marketing company. In Canada, they're just online only. I don't think they have a network of sales associates yet. You can just I think they're just direct to consumer online. Not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of MLMs, but you know what? I mean, if you find a product that works for you, it doesn't really matter how it gets to you, you know? This bronzer is actually really, really good. The color is called Dune, and it's that perfect balance of warmth and sculpting. For blush, this is Marc Jacobs Flesh and Fantasy. This is one of my all-time favorite nude types of blushes. It works really well where you just kind of you want to add a hint of definition and color to your cheeks, but you don't want it to compete. I was initially going to do red lipstick today, but since we went a little bit more dramatic on the eyes than normal, I think I'm just going to do nude. Surprise, surprise, you know? Lancome Ardent Sand. I'm going to take this Bite Beauty lip liner in shade number 20. And I'm just going over my lip line, overlining it a tiny little bit. If you bought Lancome Ardent Sand because of me and you want a matching lip liner, Bite Beauty number 20 is your jam. I've never been a good artist. I've never been good at drawing, never been good at coloring. So every time I have to do lip liner, or any type of graphic eyeliner, I hold my breath because I'm not very good at keeping a steady hand. And by overlining my lips a little, I meant overlining my lips a lot. I kind of like this. I think this looks really nice. All right, so there we have it. A glam, sculpted, warm makeup look. Is that what we're gonna call this? I still kind of want to cut my hair to this length, not sure. All right, so this is the finished look. I actually really love the way that this turned out. It's still a very me look, but just a little bit more amped up. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what your favorite more dramatic smoky eyeshadow products have been. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.